All right, everybody. I was going to start with a countdown thing I had all set up, but you know what? I'm going to pass on that because, I don't want to cut into the time tonight because, as promised, I have brought back the Booney Boys from Canada. Now, when I had these guys on last time, first of all, they're great. They wouldn't even be on the show if they weren't so cool. They're cool as hell. And last time I had them on, the next day everybody's getting a hold of me going, oh, man, we were just getting into it. What'd you cut it off for? Well, people, I'm old. I'm tired. I got to get some sleep. It was almost 8 o'clock. I'm out of Geritol. That's just how it is. Hey, Ryan Courtney, how you doing, buddy? That's another thing. I mention people when they pop up like that real quick. Real fast now, I want to give a shout out to Mr. Andy Strett from the Ellie Remember Foundation. Today's his birthday. Bill says he's 82. I'm not sure. I thought it was 52, but I'm not going to argue with Bill because he's bigger than I am. So we're going to go with 82. Bill might be right because Andy looks that old. So, and there's Connor Bryant. Connor from way down under in Australia. I understand that Connor talked to some of the Booney Boys the other day. We have had Connor on a couple times. He's a cool guy. He really is. He's got stories. You guys are going to hear some new stories tonight from the Booney Boys too. I'm going to hit these guys up. I want them to give you a real quick rundown of how they got started in paintball, but then they're going to hit us with some stories. And these guys got great stories. They really do. This is a great group. And I was fortunate enough to play with these guys a couple times. We played in Chicago and we played at the World Cup. And they're just great. Hey, Tracy Perez, how you doing, sweetheart? And Steve McGuire. Wow, you guys, we'll pull Steve up maybe later on too. Steve's got the podcast up there in Canada, and he knows the Booney Boys. Matter of fact, he might even be an honorary member. I'm not really sure. But anyhow, Steve's cool. See, riding, having Connor, Brian, a BB chat. Oh, yeah. Stephen Connor. They get along. Matter of fact, that's where I met Connor was through Steve. But anyhow, let me get into this because I want to get these Booney Boys out here. I know that's what everybody's tuned in for tonight, but I gotta do this stuff first, guys. Sorry. Real quick, Kevin Donaldson, Uncle Kevin, Master Blaster. In Newburgh, New York, the Woods Ball World Cup is coming May 15th and 16th. Now, that's going to be a heck of a deal, guys. I was very, very fortunate to play in the first one, and I might even play in this one coming up 30 years later. How cool is that? Obviously, I won't be as fast, but what's working out for me is Bill's going to play too, so I've already got a traveling bunker. I will be behind Bill, and things should work out pretty good. So, and then I told Jennifer Montresor, her son Tim, as you guys know, he had the Iron City Classic. Tim did an awful lot for paintball, and obviously we all miss him. But Jennifer has put together, it's called Jen's Young Gun Team, and it's coached by Mr. James Gurley. Well, James, I hope I didn't butcher your last name, but anyhow, we're going to have Jennifer on here in a couple more weeks. We're going to have our girls' night too, because girls' night went over pretty good. And so, we're really looking forward to that. And if you get a chance, getting back to the Woods Ball thing, these guys, Uncle Kevin and the Master Blasters, they do an absolutely terrific job. If you get a chance, really, even if you don't play, get a chance, get out there and hang out and look at these guys and watch them repping. You're going to see the greatest teams out there. I mean, even the Predators, I believe, are coming over from England. So it's going to be cool as hell. And it looks like Dan Colby's on. And I know Dan Colby, he loved the Booney Boys last time. He was one of the guys going, hey, man, it was too short. It was too short. Hey, all right. Well, we got Dan watching this time, so I'm going to try to blow through this junk and get the Booney Boys out here. Greg Hastings, okay? Greg, I was fortunate enough that a few weeks ago, he shot me, I guess, for the new video game he's got coming out. So that should be pretty cool. I'm absolutely looking forward to doing that. And he is having, it's what it is. It's it's at Hogan's Alley, and it's a run and shoot. It's a Target thing. And if you want to be on his new video coming out, you need to go and try that. It's going to be Saturday, April 17th, 9 to 5 p.m. at Meridian, Connecticut. And it's called a run and gun target shoot. And it's actually pretty cool. I think you'd get out there and check it out. You'd love it. And my buddy John Armadia. I throw this out there every time for John because John does an awful lot for paintball. He works pretty hard at it. And that's the history of paintball. If you haven't seen it yet, you're going to want to get it. It's very, very cool. I absolutely love it. And I got the 2 weeks from now, it's going to be ladies' night. I'm going to have Jennifer Montress. I'm going to have a couple of ladies that Bill has pulled in, and we're going to have Kathy Alvarez on. So that should be a great time. Now, quick to my shout out so I can get these Booney Boys out here because I know everybody's going to be calling me up tomorrow. You know, going, oh, you big ass blowhard, man. Put the Booney Boys on and give us that stuff later, you know. And maybe I will next time. You know, it's probably not the last time I'm going to have these guys on. You know, these guys are a draw. I love it. And plus, they're a lot of fun. But my shout outs always start with Mr. Tim Schloss. Tim Schloss used to own Tiger Stripe Camo. And as you can see where my marker's pointing right there, boom, splat. That's the old Tiger Stripe. But now Tim does not have the Tiger Stripe now. Now he has Gateway Paintball. It's in Missouri, in St. Louis, Missouri. And when we pull Bill up in a little bit, Bill will tell you he went to play there the other day. I guess it's a hell of a place. And then second out the gate always is Mr. Dan Colby and his son, John. Dan and I go back a long, long ways. Air America, as you can see my jacket right there. And backwards, you know. Like I told you guys, I got my second COVID shot today. So if I keep yawning all the time, it's not that I'm bored. I'm just dead on my butt, believe me. But anyhow, Dan Colby and John Colby from used to be Air America, now Immortal Air. And they do a great job. And they have some great, great regulators. I just love them, period. And then Mr. Bud Orr. I was fortunate enough to go down and spend a weekend at Bud's a couple of weekends ago when Greg Hastings was down there doing the shoot. And Bud and his wife, Kathy, are so gracious. And, you know, you don't have to say much more about Bud Orr. You know, if you don't know Bud Orr, obviously you just started in paintball yesterday or you're like living in a cave or something. Because Bud Orr, War Game Products, the Autococker, great, great man. Love the guy. Absolutely. And then Mr. Tom Kay. Tom Kay, Airgun Designs, another great person. Tom, you know, Tom took care of me real good in the past. I love the Automag. I still do love the Automag. It's a great, great marker. And then Rainey and Juvie Boucher, Paintball News. Always got to mention them because what they did for paintball for a lot of years, you know, they'd put out the newspaper, wouldn't charge the players for it. They would take all the money out of their advertising. And that was great. If you looked at the paper, you could find out what happened, what was coming up, where the fields were, all the news. It was just absolutely great. And then Randy Camilla, I mention Randy every week. Randy at APG. Randy gave me my first cover shot, which kind of took off from there. But he's a great, great guy. He was a school teacher. He played on Constant Pursuit, played on Navarone, played on a bunch of different teams, but a terrific person. And then Mr. Jerry Braun. Jerry Braun, which is where the World Cup's going to be on Jerry Braun's field. I mentioned Kevin Donaldson. Kevin Donaldson, he's the gatekeeper. Kevin kind of runs everything. And I don't know if you guys have seen the Master Blasters on the Fox Sports yet, but it was great. Kevin did an absolutely great job. The whole show, it's a half-hour show. If you get a chance, jump on and check it out. You're going to absolutely love it. It was definitely worth watching. I can tell you that. And then Mr. Ross Alexander. Ross Alexander, Line SI Bushmaster. That was my first marker sponsor, Mr. Ross Alexander. And I talked to him a couple of weeks ago. And we're going to have Ross on the show here coming up pretty soon. And he's got some stories. I got to tell you, he'll lay some great stories out for you. And then Jim Lively had Lively Productions. Jim watches our show every week. Jim is, back in the day, there was two big things that I just absolutely could not wait to go to, the World Cup and the Masters. The Masters was in Tennessee, and Jim Lively and Sam used to run that. And like I say, it was like going to a family reunion going to that. It was just the best of times and the best run tournaments. It was just great. It really, really was. And then I have to mention Gino. Okay, Gino from Belkin Sports. The reason I do that is because, a lot of you people don't see what Gino does behind the scenes for paintball. Sure, he's got a big store. Sure, he sells a ton of stuff. Yeah. The guy does an awful lot of stuff behind the scenes. The Tracy Perez benefit that we did a few weeks back, Bill and I did, I would have never even known about it if it wouldn't have been for Gino. Gino's the one that got a hold of me and says, "Hey, Fred, could you do something?" And I says, absolutely. I called Tracy up. She's a great, great person. And it was on, period. I absolutely loved it. And, Mags for life. Joey, man, I hope I don't blow this. Medina. If I did, I'm sorry. But I got Joey right. So I'm halfway there, baby. Halfway there. And Kenny Stewart. Kenny Stewart from the General Paintball Museum. Great guy, watches every week. Moved from Kentucky up to Michigan. Whoa, I guess the snow just wasn't heavy enough down there in Kentucky. I don't know. But I hope Kenny's doing great because Kenny is a terrific person. We're going to have Kenny on again. Kenny's helped us out in raffles. Kenny's been on a couple times, and he is absolutely great. And one more person I mention every week is Mark Gong Jr. Mark Gong used to play on Constant Pursuit. He now plays with the OG Ironman. His son, 7 years old, you should see this kid play. Man, he is the future of paintball. He just absolutely rocks. Just a great, great kid. And I'd like to mention him along with all the old timers here, because the old timers, I don't want them to forget. And the new guy, I want them to remember and see this kid play. So if you ever get a chance, there's a lot of videos up right now. They're putting videos of him out there playing. Watch this kid. Not even 8 years old yet. He rocks, period. So real quick now, I'm going to bring up my partner in crime here, Mr. William Bailey.
Hello.
How's it going, buddy?
It's going good. How's it going?
Yeah, it's going good. You went and played at Tim's this week, huh?
Yeah. Yep. We went up there, had to pick up an airball field, and got to play some games with Tim, and got to see a bunch of the guys. It was a great time.
Oh man, good. So you guys played, I heard, 4 games, huh?
Yeah. Yep.
Holy crap.
Yeah. About wore us out.
Yeah, I'll bet it did, man. Well, you know what? I was telling everybody, what we got coming up, but I'm going to bring up these guys that we've got on tonight, because the last time I had these guys on, everybody, they were getting in my butt about, oh man, it was too short. It was too short. Shut the hell up and put the Booney Boys on.
Yep.
I think basically they wanted me to pull the Booney Boys up and then go have a sandwich or something,
Yeah,
and then come back, when the show was done. But anyhow, I'm going to pull these guys up right now. All right, one at a time. Mr. Jeff. Hey, Jeff.
Hey, guys.
Mr. Martin.
What's up, yo?
How you doing, Martin? Mr. Andrew.
Hey, how's it going?
Yep.
And Bobby.
Yeah.
Here they are, guys. I had these guys on before, and everybody just absolutely loved them. These guys are from Canada. I had the honor of getting to play a couple of tournaments with these guys, 5 CPers and 5 of them. Couldn't ask for a better group. Cool as hell. And great players. Let me start with that right there. These guys, they rocked big time. So, but real quick, I'm going to, real short, because we got a lot of new viewers now that didn't get to see these guys last time. And real quick, I'm just going to go one by one and ask them. Real quick, let me show you guys something here. I don't know if you can even see this because everything's so small there. But that was us at the World Cup.
Wow.
What a great picture.
That's a handsome group of players there. Look at that.
That's right.
It is. Hey, man, you lied for all of us. I love it. Yeah, we looked a little younger anyhow. I had hair in that one too. So that was pretty cool.
And 60 pounds less, maybe, for me.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I'm twice the man I was.
Yep.
No doubt about it. I tell everybody, I says I still got a chest, but my belt holds it up now. so, so anyhow, let's go ahead and start. JT, real quick. How'd you get into paintball, buddy?
1987 in high school. These two guys on the screen here said, "Hey, we're tired of shooting acorns at each other with slingshots. Let's go try this paintball thing. I think you'll like it." So they signed us up for a tournament. First time I ever played a game was in a tournament.
Really?
With these guys. Yeah, we did a 5-man tournament. We used rental Nell spots. And it was, I don't know, like 40 teams on the field at once or whatever, capture the armbands. And we did not come in last place.
And that was the first time you played?
First time I ever played was in a tournament at a big, huge field, hour and a half away. RLD game.
RLD,
yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, and
Well, that's
I'd never played, didn't know the train. Yeah, it was fun, but you know what? It was so much fun. That's what we kept doing. So,
well, yeah, you were linked up with good guys too.
Yeah, well, like I said, I went to school with these guys.
Yeah.
There you
High
go.
school buddies, man. Yeah.
Martin, your turn, real quick, buddy.
Well, I actually played once previous to that. There was this weird dude that kept hanging around the comic book store, and a guy named Hugh, and he kept talking about paintball this and paintball that, and a bunch of my friends said, you know what, let's go out and get this guy to stop talking about it. We'll go play. And that was at the Adventure Game in North York, which was a survival game sort of knockoff franchise. And so we went out. We had a hell of a good time, and then I moved to Lakefield shortly after Peterborough and hooked up with these guys, and the rest is history. We just took off and kept playing. So
very cool.
Well, we supplemented slingshots and acorns because we couldn't afford guns right away.
Hey, Bud Orr's watching, so everybody say hi to Bud real quick.
How's it going, Bud?
Hey, bud.
And Dan Colby, say hi to Dan too, guys.
Hi, Dan.
Respect, guys.
Very good.
Yeah, he's some great guys. Andrew, you're next, buddy.
Same thing. Jeff, Martin, we played this RLD tournament. Before that, I played like a rec game. A good friend of ours, Jason Miles, who may be watching tonight, he introduced me to it. He was working at a place. They had like one of those team building weekends. They needed an extra guy. I went out and played, and let's see, I think I bought 20 rounds, in the tubes of paint. I think I shot maybe 3 or 4 rounds the whole day. But I was hooked after that. I went, I want to go out again. I think I went and picked up a gun probably shortly after that. When we played that tournament, I think I was the only guy with my own gun, which was a Jaguar from Brass Eagle. It was my first marker.
Wow, really?
Or second marker that I picked up. But yeah, it was like after that, we were gun ho, man. We were out every weekend pretty much.
It was on, huh? Yeah, I'm going to ask you guys a few more questions, but I want Bobby, give us your story, buddy. How'd you get rolled in with these guys?
I'll make it nice and quick. When I was in my teens, I was a pro BMX freestyler. So
Ooh,
I really, I love the adrenaline and everything else. And I quit the sport, and then I was looking for something to do. And there was a local indoor paintball place by my house, and I went by and I checked it out, and I was like, this is pretty cool. And the more I kind of hung out, I started working there and starting to kind of get everything. And I grew real fast in Ontario in the sport just because I was into building and designing fields, and I was into that kind of like I can get my hand into the tech of it, and I loved it. And then the Booney Boys turned around and showed up one day at my local field, and all of us just clicked like ice, and it was amazing. And so we've been together for a long time because that connection was there, and everybody got each other.
Yeah, and you guys are still together, right?
Yep, absolutely.
Wow.
Yeah, we still
that?
play. Yep.
How cool is that? So who was actually the first one then? Who was the first one of you guys that got the other guys into it?
It's hard to say it happened that way. I think we were all just kind of talking about it constantly, and we just came to a consensus. It's much the way the team is run to this day. We all just kind of sit around looking at each other and something happens, right? You know, there was no one guy that sparked anyone else. It was kind of like spontaneous combustion. So
Yeah.
Yeah,
Who
it
came
was-
up
yeah,
with the
it was-
name?
It was probably probably.
oh, that was Andy.
Yeah,
like
the
I would
name.
say- sorry,
5
go
minutes before the tournament started, we didn't know what we were called. So
Yeah, they were hassling us to put a name on the roster, and we didn't know what to call ourselves. So Andy just put Booney Boys because we were all from the Boonies.
Oh,
Actually,
worked,
that's-
right?
That's simple.
Yeah.
Yep.
that's kind of the funny part with this team is that, and that's what drew me to hang out with these guys is we literally, before any time we did a tournament or everything else, or there was a captain's meeting, all of us would look at each other and rock, paper, scissors to who's the captain that day, because none of us wanted that position to be like, there was nobody telling anybody else what to do because we all knew the spots. And we knew
reality was we did. None of us wanted to sit around like after the captain's meeting and stuff to all that chat because we got stuff to gear up at the car and we got pods to fill and guns to test, and yeah, it was just fun. It was kind of a good group of friends that, hey, you want to go take care of this or you take care of that, and it was, yeah, sure, whatever, man. Like, just take care of my gear and we'll rock this out. So
Let's say we had a lot of trust in each other for years of being together. Yep.
Well, you know, you still do. You know, real quick story is I played up in the dome up there 100 years ago, and anyhow, it was a 5-man, and I had Constant Pursuit up there, and I watched these guys play, and then I just started talking to them. You know, we just for some reason, I don't know why, other than they were playing up a storm, they were damn good players. I just clicked with them for some reason, and something told me, you know, hey, you know what? Let's take 5 CP guys and 5 of them, and let's go do a tournament and have some fun. And so we did it. I think the first one was what, Chicago, or was it the World Cup?
It was the World Cup was the first one.
Was that? But we
Yep.
did play in Chicago too, right?
Yep, in '99. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly right. And up Curtis S says he misses Skyball.
Yeah, we did Skyball as CP in the pro division as well.
Yeah. Oh, that's right, huh?
Yeah, we ran
That's
2 squads there. Yep.
Yep, that's right. Yeah, that
was fun.
I'll never forget the first time I walked in that damn dome, boy. I got to tell you, it just blew me away, you know. And I don't know what that thing rented for a day, but I'm sure it wasn't cheap.
80,000.
Is that what it was?
It was 80,000 a day. Yep.
Oh my goodness!
I know. When I was talking to Jay Muncaster about it, and his partner Adrian from Focus, and they told me, and I was blown away between the union fees and all the other stuff they had to pay. Yeah, it was 80,000 a day at the time.
Wow!
I remember
if they were
going
it
into
up for a minute and a half.
I remember going in to play that, and it was cool, like just the experience of you sort of come down and you're on the field of, like, for us, it's an iconic building, right? So we're standing on the field in the Sky Dome going, we're going to play paintball, like in a place where, you know, there's world champions and games and football and all this stuff. So it was pretty mind blowing, like at the time, to have that kind of like a paintball game inside a facility like that. It was just amazing. So much
And
fun.
the first thing you wanted to do was shoot the roof.
Yeah,
Immediately. You had to do it.
They talked about not doing that though too. That was one of the first things I heard them talk about. You know,
Right.
and that's the worst thing to say. You know, don't do it, and then everybody goes like this. You know.
Yep.
But you know, Steve McGuire just chimed in and he says Bobby, and which I heard this before too. The first one, all the bunkers started deflating, and I guess it was Bobby that had the idea to get the tires and get some bunkers out there. Because I remember the first bunkers, man. You walk up to them and you could sink into them. It was like running into a piece of foam because they kept losing air all the time. So,
Well,
Bobby, what gave you the idea to do it?
That was at the very beginning of when airball started taking off, because it was a great concept for people to watch, and the idea was there. But remember, the originals turned around and had the tubes, the air system that would flow through the tubes, so you trip over them. And then they tried to go without the tubes, and like you saw in Sky Dome, you know, they deflated. Bad seals or whatever. So because they were so bad the first year, they actually replaced some of them with inner tubes. right? And
Yep.
when I looked at that, I turned around and I went to Jay and Focus and the guys that were doing it for the next year, and I said, look, the concept's here. It's easy. Let's just turn around and take a sock and put it over inner tubes, and there is your bunker. It's simple. The simplicity of it sold it, right? The material, the original material was a little expensive for them, so we kind of had to do something else. But either which way, if you look at old pictures of the yellow field, all those tubes are perfect, and it looks fantastic. And it solved the problem of having a deflating, like you said, nothing worse than running behind your bunker and it's getting smaller by the minute.
Yeah, well, thank God I was small back then too. Now it would have really been a problem. But I'd have been the first guy crawling in skyball, you know. But I know that you know, that's where I got to talk to you guys. That's where I actually sat and watched you guys play a couple games when you were playing, and you guys are rocking pretty damn good.
So we were at least the first day. And then I guess we partied a bit that night, and the next day we kind of, I don't know, we slummed it a little bit, but yeah, it's all good. You know, funny, interesting story about the first skyball there. They gave. So we had hooked up with Focus earlier. They had hosted a tournament a couple of years ago that we won, and so we got to know them pretty well. And we actually got free entry to the first skyball in order to set up the fields for them. And they let us design the fields because they were having issues with the field idea that they had. And there is footage that was just released, actually, that I think shows me rolling a bunker out onto the field, and some of the other guys we know from local field that joined us. But it became a little bit awkward because as the night went on, we were there until I think 5 a.m. the next morning setting up, and we had to play at 7:30. And everybody that was supposed to help us started disappearing at 8 o'clock at night, and by 5 in the morning it was just me, Bob, and I think maybe Don Ireland and a couple of other guys we knew, and that was it. So, but yeah, it was interesting that we had the fun of setting up the first field for them and doing all that with the bunkers, and that's why they came back to us the next year and asked us to do the bunker bags so that it looked more professional and we could get around the deflating airball stuff. So
yeah, that was great. Yeah, I know what you mean about people helping you too. You know, it's like when you want to move, and you know everybody goes, "Oh man, I'll be there. I'll help you move. I'll help you move." You know, and then the day of the move, nobody knows your name. So, you know, I can appreciate exactly what you're talking about.
That's exactly it.
Yep. And Bill, I wish you could have got to play up there in that dome. I got to tell you, it was, I mean, just even walking into it, it just gave me goosebumps when I walked into it, because I'm sitting here thinking, you know, here I am playing paintball, and now it's in a professional building like this. It just it just blew me away. It really, really did. Yeah. And I'd sit up in the stands and just watch the games, and it was just incredible.
Yeah, I got to hear it. Our team, Missouri Magic, was there. You know,
were you? You got to play in it?
No, I didn't get to. I didn't get to go, but we did send a team up there, Missouri Magic. Yeah.
What they do?
It was a cool event, man.
Yeah.
Oh, cool isn't even a word for it. There's got to be something better than cool. It was just outstanding.
Oh yeah.
Like I say,
you know,
walking
the fact
into
that
it.
People traveled. There was people from all over the world come to Canada. Canada of all places. I mean, you know, it's beautiful up here. Don't kid yourself. I mean, we got miles and miles of nothing. Like, once you go past the border, there's nothing out here. Okay. So,
I love it.
But it's, you know, all these people came, and they're all, you know, the party at the Sky Dome afterwards was fantastic.
Yep.
You know, everybody had a good time, and that's kind of what it was really amazing to see, that, you know, the Americans were there, the guys from overseas were there, and I think we even had a team from Japan there. I'm not sure.
I think you're right. Yeah.
Yeah, it was outstanding. Really.
Yeah.
Yeah, I thought what is cool. It was for the time, like it was groundbreaking, like for just
absolutely,
like an event, like a building like that hosting.
That was paintball history,
right? Yeah. Yep.
Oh, that was paintball history, cut and dry. Period. There's just it was absolutely great. See, Kenny Stewart, what do you say? Fred also did Walt Disney World. I mean, yeah, that was a big game too. Yeah, that was a lot of fun. But I got to tell you, playing in that dome, when I walked in there, like I say, it just blew me away. And then I always wondered about the price. I always wondered, how could they afford this dome for what was, I mean, they had to get it for what, 4 days, right? With the setup and the teardown.
I think they're on a tight schedule because the Raptors were playing for the first one. The Raptors were playing that day, so they couldn't start setting up until like 4 p.m. after the game. I think it was 3 days that they paid for, but I'm not 100% sure. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's not cheap.
No.
Yeah, they were all in. I got to give Jay and Adrian credit for that. They pulled it off. I mean, it was a lot of work, and they had hosted tournaments before, like I said, but it wasn't anything in comparison to the Sky Dome. They were all in on that one for sure, and they pulled it off. So
yeah, none of that stuff is easy. It always looks easy to the guy that just goes and plays there, but the behind the scenes, it's just sometimes it's maddening. It's absolutely incredible. And Mark Gong says, did any of you guys play at the Saddle Dome?
No.
I did. Actually, I played for Team Havoc in Calgary for a number of years, so I played there. But it wasn't in the Saddle Dome when I played. It was in the arena beside it. Like it was the same place that they did all the rodeos and all of that. So, but
that's pretty.
You got to
cool.
travel up here in order to go out to some tournaments and whatnot. You have your local stuff. Like Ontario is pretty good with a lot of the fields out here. We all, because we have a little bit of distance between all of us Booney boys. We kind of spread out to, these guys go to this field, these guys, so we're pretty good with our local fields, all get along. But when we've played in Montreal, we've driven all the way out to Montreal. We went
in a rental convertible in the middle of winter, I might add. That was a bad decision.
They had now Canadian National Speedball Championships, okay, back in about 94 and 95, used to be in this city called Regina. Okay. I swear to God, that's the name for all you Americans out there. That's the actual name of the city is Regina, Saskatchewan. So from Toronto to Regina, we decide to go to this tournament. So half the team decides to get in the plane and go, and me and Martin.
I waved as we flew. I did this.
Hi guys. Andy flew.
We were probably over Manitoba somewhere when we were doing that.
We drove, and it took us. How long did it take us, Martin?
It was 26 hours straight.
26 hours to get to a tournament.
Yep,
wow.
Each way. And the best part was we get in the car, and it's myself, my girlfriend, who's now my wife, Candy, Bob and Danny. Bob and Danny are in the back. We get in the car, and I say, okay, we're going to switch every 4 hours. Well, Bob says, I don't have a driver's license, and Danny says, I only have a motorcycle license. So Candy and I had to drive 26 hours straight, switching just the two of us.
Oh, man.
That was
all to shoot paint at another team somewhere.
Yeah,
that
says it was 49
brutal.
below. It was 49 below that first year. It was cold.
Yeah, it was the end of January, which is insane as well.
Oh.
I'll tell you another funny story about that. We're halfway between Wawa and I don't know where, somewhere in the middle of nowhere, and the Ontario Provincial Police pull us over at 2 a.m. And a girl, I guess she's in training, a rookie or something, asks me for the ID. I'm driving. I give her my ID, and she comes back and she says, so you're Fred? And I'm like, no, I'm Martin. And she goes, okay, so you own the car? You're Fred. And I'm, no. And Bob's in the back yelling, Fred's in the trunk. And I was mortified. I thought for sure that's it. We're all going to jail. But I guess she didn't hear him, and we got away with it. But she had the wrong ID on the car, but it was funny as hell and a little bit scary, too. So, anyway. Yeah, it was a good road trip. We blew a tire. We had a mismatched tire installed somewhere in Manitoba. And the tire was going thump, 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 thump all the way home. It was hilarious.
Well, that Regina trip, I think that was the second one. I think Jeff. That
was 95, yeah.
I think Jeff, Jay, and myself, we flew to Calgary, hooked up with Thompson up there, Jeff up in the corner, and we drove from Calgary to Regina to play the first speedball in '94.
Oh.
And I believe we played three. We played three guys. We played myself. Jason was there, and then we picked up a buddy of ours, Monty, who was like a third player, and we were playing a 5-man tournament with three guys, and it was. I think we recorded like one of the fastest tournament wins of that one. It was something ridiculous, but we just had a blast. It's funny. Teams were coming up going, "Do you need an extra guy?" And we had like, "No, we're cool," and we just stacked the teams with the three players, and away we went. So yeah, playing short.
That was a much better drive. That's only 8 hours.
Yeah, that was an 8 hour. And I think we almost smoked. We were close to Regina, and I want to say it was antelope. It wasn't antelope, but it was some deer or something. As we were coming in, we just smoked one of those on the road.
Oh man!
Yeah.
How many times in the car have we almost hit something?
I've lost count.
Yeah.
That trip to Regina, we counted 13 moose on the road. We did chase one down off the embankment as well, just for fun. Yep, 13 moose on that highway.
Yeah, you wouldn't want to hit one of those. Not at all.
And it was all at night too. Yep.
But going to those tournaments was fun for us because that was kind of the first time that we got they would really encourage, like we'd have the Ironmen were there and the Bushwhackers were there, and they'd get these teams there, and we would get to see these guys and play against these teams that we've always read about in the magazines, right? Because that's what we bought every magazine there ever was, and we're like, man, one of these days I want to be in the magazine, or I want to meet these guys. And it was really cool to be able to meet Bob Long and all of them.
Yeah,
all these people.
We were partying with the Bushwhackers, and Mark Knopp was hanging out with us. We had a great time, and I still talk to Mark Knopp. I think he's, what he's doing, everything there is pretty great, and it's great when
Very cool.
like 25 years later, you're talking to people that, like he said, you saw in the magazine, they were like pros.
Yep.
And I think what was
Very
cool about that is just like going back to playing. Like that's how we kind of learn as we watched some of the pro teams. We'd study how they were doing. Like any of the like paintball video stuff that would come up. Like it would always be on like ESPN2 in the States, and we'd be up here because we don't have access to that. We'd be scrambling to find somebody with a gray zone, satellite system, like those giant ones that were like 12 feet wide.
12 feet wide. Yep.
And we'd have some friends. We go, dude, there's a paintball thing at 2:00 in the morning. Here's a videotape. Can you record it? And it was stuff like the Walt Disney thing or anything we could find. We were desperate.
The Walt Disney thing was fun, believe me.
For content.
That took 9 months for me to put that together.
But we watched it over and over and over.
Yeah.
That was a challenge. That's where I met Steve McGuire, was up at the Dome. And what's funny is when I linked up with Steve, I guess maybe not quite a year ago now, but he goes, "You don't remember me up at the Dome?" He goes, "I came up, I introduced myself, and I was watching you play, and you weren't sliding on the AstroTurf. And I asked you what kind of shoes you had, and I told him what kind of shoes I was using, and I guess he ran down to a sporting goods store in between games and went and got a pair of them and came back. Because I got to tell you, that AstroTurf, once it got paint on it, it was like running on snot, man.
Sure.
I mean, that baby was slick. But the shoes I had worked out pretty good. And then 25 years later, like I say, or maybe more, whatever it was, I meet Steve again. That's incredible. It just so that's exactly what you're talking about, Bobby. Knowing people back in the day, and then you're reconnecting with them now. It's just terrific, really, really.
Yep.
I love it. So,
well, and Steve started playing with us back in the day at our home field, which was called Boot Camp at the time. I mean, Steve's been around almost as long as we have, or as long as we have, as far as I know.
Yep,
and
Yeah.
And I know he dropped out for a while, family issues and things like that, and he's back on the scene, and yeah, he's right back, playing with us, and it's kind of like old times again around here a little bit.
Yeah,
so.
He just said Reebok juggernauts.
Yeah.
Well, it's funny when we started playing, like, because everybody, we sort of had that, we played pro, and then, we got married and had kids and family, and there was that sort of break that we all had. And then, like years ago, we all sort of just got back together and started playing. But it's like, like we haven't missed really a beat. They're still going out, and you kind of know, if I'm up front, I've got balls whizzing over my head, and I know it's one of my guys behind me. So, like, as I'm moving, I'm not worried about getting whacked in the back of the head because we've been playing together for so long. It's like second nature.
Yeah.
Well, let's be honest, though. When we first started playing, we got Boonie Boys and Hot Pink emblazoned on our back because we had a bad habit of shooting each other in the back. So, yeah, there was a time where our logo reflected our playing.
That was tactical. That was all part of the plan.
Tactical Hot Pink, yeah.
Hey, Steve said to ask you guys about the chicken coop.
Oh, the chicken coop. So the chicken coop. So that was we can only play paintball. Well, that's not even true because we were playing paintball a couple of weeks ago and there was like 2 feet of snow on the ground. But practicing wise, my parents had a chicken farm, so we had an empty barn. So we built a speedball field inside this barn. It was, I don't know, 50 or 60 feet wide by whatever, 200 feet long or something.
Oh, wow.
Oh, that's where we did a lot of practicing leading up to like Skyball and a bunch of other stuff and just trying things out. Like I knew we played one game at Skyball that like the game was over like that. And that was just from us really just practicing, like just getting used to angles and thinking if we're sliding into a bunker, where are we shooting? I remember when we were one of the games that we were playing, and actually, Fred, you mentioned it, was like when you're playing on bunkers, like play off the bunker, because you can always tuck in. But if you're out, you can kind of cover like both sides, and you still got lots of cover, right? And it was a chicken farm. We had a farmer that was doing like the big hay bales, those big round ones. So we were using those as our bunkers, and it was funny. Like every week we'd show up, and there'd be bunkers missing because he was coming in to get them for the cattle. So we'd have to go around the farm and go, oh, well, there's an oil drum. We'll grab that. Oh, there's some
mattress.
Old mattresses. We'll wrap those around it. So like there's some video. We'll throw it up on our Facebook page. But there's like a video that Bob took of the actual field, and I think there's some shots of one of our guys playing in it as well. So it was a great little indoor spot where guys would come up and we'd play, right?
Steve McGuire says he's got a roll or two of film from coming out and watching one of those practices and taking it. So, yeah.
Yeah, there was a
that's why
bunch
you
of
guys
guys
didn't
that...
market that speedball field, huh?
The chicken coop.
But the chicken coop, that was it was a cool little just, place we could practice. We'd invite teams up to come and play, and it was
That's
a good
size place,
out, right?
60 by 200 is good size.
Yeah, it was a big space. It was suitable for what we needed.
Not like
to do
chicken
for
poop.
the games.
And it was inside.
That's good. Yeah, all inside.
Yeah,
we had
Good for sliding.
On chicken poop.
Concrete floor, so it was okay. No, I used to teach a long time ago, and one thing I used to tell the students was I've shoveled lots of shit in my time, so like when I have assignments, just hand them in. I don't need the stories why they're not done. So it was the chicken coop paintball. We should do some T-shirts.
I survived the chicken coop.
Exactly.
Wow, that sounds great, man. Oh my goodness. Billy, you got any questions for these guys? Because I'm gonna hit them up with another story here pretty soon.
I would just keep hitting them up. Just keep telling the stories. I'm enjoying it. Did you see what Bud posted earlier?
No.
He said where the Booney Boys live, if your dog got out, you could watch it run away for a week.
Well, in Saskatchewan, you could. Yeah. There was no tree. Well, that's what they used to joke about. We were in Calgary, so we would drive to Saskatchewan to do a lot of playing. And they said there was only one stoplight in Saskatchewan. It was right in the middle. No matter where you were on the Trans-Canada Highway, if it was red, you stopped, and if it was green, you went. For the whole province, there was only one stoplight. That was kind of the joke. So.
Oh wow, that's like Nebraska here. You can see across Nebraska, and it's 400 and some miles. That's one flat thing. And they got all these towns, man. And they're really little tiny ones that you go through. It's got like welcome to and come back again on the same board. So, I mean, you go through them towns quick. They got 4 bars and a gas station.
I'll tell you about gas stations. Bob remembers that trip to Regina. We were on the road, and again, it was about 2 a.m. coming back. And I don't know why we didn't fill up with gas, but we were bone dry. There was nothing left in the tank. And we were seriously concerned we were going to be out of gas in the middle of nowhere at the end of January at night. And lo and behold, in the distance, it was a light on. And it turns out it was a gas station that was run by some mom and pop couple. And she had gotten up to make coffee at 2 a.m. for some reason. And we pulled in bone dry, not a drop in the tank. And she turned on the pump so we could fill up and get home. And it was the weirdest thing that actually happened. But it was another horrifying part of that trip. So you want to talk about little towns in the middle of nowhere. Thank God that gas station was there.
Yeah, but see, now that's a memory for you guys, man. That's a great memory.
I should write her a thank you card.
What were you saying about
Wawa, Ontario out there, and the trees are about a city block wide. They're huge. So when you got a paintball field, you got about 6 trees.
Those are fat man compliant trees.
we stopped for gas in Wawa on the way back, and they had seen all the paintball gear in the vehicle, and they said, "Oh, you guys are playing paintball, eh?" Yeah, we just had a tournament last week, and we're like, "Oh my God, this is Wawa. There's no paintball fields in Wawa." So the guy pointed down the road, and we looked down the road at what he was pointing at, and these trees on this field were like 6 feet wide. We're like, "Oh my God!" And seriously, it was a jungle in there. I don't know how they ever played a tournament. It was fascinating, but they said they did. So the running joke was that we're going to go to Wawa for the next tournament.
Yeah, Kenny Stewart said that's his kind of trees. You know, I played a tournament up in Oregon, and they had when you say a jungle, they had leaves up there on, I don't know what the hell kind of bush it was, but the leaves were about probably 2 to 3 feet wide by 6 feet long. They were just huge. And when you first seen the field, you thought, oh man, I'm going to crawl around like big dog on this. And you get in there and you get hung up on the damn things. They were so thick. It was just incredible. So 6 foot trees would probably look pretty good to me. Plus,
everybody remembers
a 6 foot tree.
The palmettos in Florida there. Those things get wrapped around everything. Yep.
Well, you guys would have played. Have you guys ever played in some of the redwood trees on the West Coast there?
Oh, yeah.
I mean, I know you're there. Those are 12 feet trees and 15 feet trees.
Huge.
You know.
Yeah, you can drive a car through them. Yeah, absolutely right.
Yeah, a lot of California has some great fields out there for that.
Yeah. Jason, who was out west there, he was out in BC for a while. He was playing paintball, and he was saying like you could put a whole team behind some of these trees on some of these fields.
They're huge. Yep. I mean, some of the trees that have actually fallen, they've hollowed out and made stores out of. You could go in there; they're gift shops. So that's pretty good size. But I don't know, if I'd want, that's. I mean, they're cool to look at, but I don't know if I'd want them on my paintball field. I mean, take 15 minutes to run around it.
Just bring around the rosy. Like that.
Right? That's like a few of us are thinking about going and doing the World Cup that's coming up in May, Kevin Donaldson's thing. And everybody was texting back and forth, and they go, well, we're going to need litter bearers. We're going to need an ambulance there for everybody. And I just made a suggestion. I said, well, maybe they'll let us start at their flag station so we don't have to run there. So,
at least at the 50.
Yeah. Well, the 50 is a long ways off for us now.
Yeah, I know. It's like, see you at the 30. Our 30.
I thought the fields were getting longer because the 50 looks so far away now.
Oh man, you still look like a kid. Come on, I bet you could get out there and haul butt.
I like the idea, like the way that everything's set up. I'm not a big even though I played and really kind of loved the designs of the airbag thing, but I'm not diving into a snake nowadays. And if I am, I'll crawl, but there has to be a ref on the other side that helps me get up.
Yeah. Well, that's what I tell everybody. I says I raced a turtle a couple of weeks ago and came in second. So I'm not that fast anymore. But woods ball is cool though. Woods ball, as long as there's not a lot of hills, it's kind of made for old guys too. I started in woods ball, and I just absolutely loved woods ball. And and I love the speedball fields too. They were cool, but woods ball's just kind of really been my thing. I just always really loved it.
Yeah, we started in woods ball, and it's just interesting because we've seen the progression. So we've seen the woods ball and into like the prototype air bags that Bob had done.
Hyperball.
Yeah, hyperball fields. I love the hyperball.
I love
fields.
them too. Yeah,
Just so much fun to do, and it's kind of interesting to sort of just go through that history and play all these different fields, and sort of get the beginning of some of that.
That's the cool thing about Tim's field up at Gateway. He has all of those. It's awesome.
Cool. Yeah,
yeah.
Like I remember playing
Bill's got a field.
It's funny to see the Mounds fields come back because
Yeah.
you know, I remember back in the day of playing at Pittsburgh. I thought that was the greatest field in the world, you know, and all of a sudden, you know, everybody kind of dropped off the idea, got into the airbags. And now when Mech came back, everybody's, oh, yeah, let's just throw some dirt mounds up. And it's the greatest play.
It is. You're absolutely right. You know, the reason that, you know, the airbags were so convenient is you could just throw them up anywhere and in no time at all, stake them down, play, and then take them back at night, you know. But the Mounds field, you're absolutely right, Bobby. They are cool as hell to play in and tricky, too. You know, just when you think that you can make a move around this mound or over this mound, you got somebody just laying low in there and whacking you. So
and they can arc that. And they can arc the paint.
Yeah.
Like what I liked about playing that stuff was like all of us, like the original like woods ball stuff was like tournaments, like walking the fields. Like we that was one part of the game where we basically started the game as soon as we pulled into the parking lot. So we pulled in the parking lot and the game was on. We were trying to psych out other teams, and we'd go walk the field, and some of us would be walking out there limping, going, I don't know if I can run to there. I hurt my leg last night. So that like we were starting and just talking loud enough with the plans that other teams could kind of hear us around. But like that was part of the game and part of the fun was it wasn't just hitting somebody and tagging them out. It was like that psychological game that we play on and off the field, right?
Did you guys ever play the Masters, Jim Lively's Masters in Tennessee?
No.
No, we did a lot of.
Tell you, that was a great setup there. Great fields.
Mm-hmm. Like a lot of us, like we've guessed on like other teams. Like I played down at like some of the ZAP tournaments and some of the MPPL tournaments with some other teams, and even that you learn so much that you come back. And when I came back to the Booty Boys, hey, we did this and this, and hey, when we were playing this game, we tried this technique. We should try that with our game next time. And what I found really cool about this, like the paintball industry, is it's very open and very sharing in terms of oh, how did you do that? That's pretty cool. I like that pod system you've got there. Like, how did you do that? We made a lot of our own stuff when we started out because there just wasn't stuff around like squeegees and things like that. We would always, you know, out in the woodshed and hacking these things together to get some components that we needed from what we've seen on other fields.
Yep.
It doesn't help when you're young and you're broke either. I mean,
there's that.
Out of necessity, you've got to make something, you know, like hoppers and stuff. When I started out with a pump gun, and you know, you have to make your own hopper because you had no choice, right? It's either that or you got to order something that's really overpriced if you can even get it. So,
hey, let me tell you, we were using oil cans for hoppers for a while there.
We use heat bottles.
Yeah, cut the top of the oil cans. You'd fold up, and half the balls would go in, the other half be falling out where you're trying to hurry, and big old thing sticking up there.
I remember when Andy saw the one-armed bandit, that PVC construction, he went crazy and built one, and he still has it to this day. It's actually quite awesome.
Was that the swivel one where you swivel it up and dump the mud in? Yeah.
Did you guys use those? So like, I made it out of an old. It was like a water filter, and I cut a hole in it, and I had like one of those T things, and put that on there. But it was, you know, something we could try and make and say, well, it's not very, you know, pro looking, but it kind of works.
And guys used to use Pringle cans for their pods. You know,
mail tubes.
Mail tubes. We did that. I remember making.
I used tall boy beer cans.
Which
got a laugh at the field when you went on with a 6-pack of beer cans, but you know.
But yeah, we did like plumbing pipe, and we were using
Yeah, absolutely
spray
right.
can
With the cap.
lids and
Yep.
stuff. Right? It was sort of that growing aspect of the sport where
Yeah.
it was
And then when David Bell came out with the view loader, it's like your head exploded when you seen this thing.
Sure.
No more out there playing like this. To get the balls to keep falling down. You had the view loader. In fact, I've got one of the original view loaders over there, and we're going to put David Bell on the show here in the coming weeks. He works for Gino, so Gino guaranteed me he'd be on. So that should work out pretty good.
I teched for them for a while. They turned around and actually at Skyball, they turned around and they had in one of the rooms, they had a tech course for all the view loader stuff. And, got loaded up with parts, and anybody who needed help, with their loader, I'd get in there, take it apart, put it back together. And, it was a great concept. And a lot of people really, I think a lot of kids nowadays, or a lot of the younger people who are just getting into paintball, don't really understand the luxury that they have now compared to, the way that we had to do things.
That's the lesson,
what, Bobby? Bob, that's a great point. That's at the beginning of all my shows. I've mentioned Schloss and Dan Colby and all of those guys, because people don't realize, all the effort and the money and the time that these guys put into all of this stuff. And, they just nowadays they just go to the store, you buy it, you get on a fancy suit, and you go out and you hit the speedball field, but they don't understand who really, really worked hard years and years ago to actually make the sport evolve into what it is today. That's why I keep bringing up these guys' names.
I don't think they'd be shooting VM68s right now. Their fingers would fall off, some of these kids.
They couldn't carry them.
I still have the callus right here from my old Nell spot, man. Right there it is.
You still have that VM68, Bobby? That boat anchor?
I got her.
Oh, no. Seriously?
Hey, let me tell you. I had Jeff Promoter pull that baby out there. There it is. Let me tell you.
Look at that.
Yep, right on. When I started with Air America back in the day, Jeff Promoter sent one of those to Dan Colby, and Dan Colby sent it to me. Well, I went up to a tournament up in Oregon, and that's exactly what I had, was that with an Air America tank. And, I could just stand there and shoot everybody because it was kind of cool out, and the CO2 was freezing up and everything like that. And everybody, finally, they wanted me to stop using it because I could just go out there and wail with that old thing, 'cause everybody else still had pumps and stuff like that, So I'll never forget that.
The recoil is great.
Yeah.
So,
and the 40 pounds of weight meant nothing to me back then.
That's right.
And it makes your own smoke screen.
Let me tell you a quick story about that. Actually, one of the tournaments I was playing at Wasaga Beach, I was shooting a PMI 3 or a VM68, and I was chugging along, and we were playing Brian Ward's Diamondbacks, a local team, well-known, well-respected. And to this day, we're friends with Brian Ward now. And Brian was shooting one of the first-gen autocockers, and he rocked me in the top of the head so hard from across the field, he knocked me flat on my back into a pit. And I lay there, and all I could think was, I'm buying an autococker. That's it. I'm done with this. And, I went out and bought my first autococker after that. So thanks, Brian, if you're listening.
I actually bought my first cocker from Brian as well.
Well, I managed to track down my very first marker. So this is
the gotcha gun.
There you
If
go.
anybody remembers these things, this was, if anybody's on the chat, if you Google like the Gotya paintball gun, like an 87, it was a ridiculous commercial. But you'd cock it open. It was almost like a puck kind of thing that would sit in here with, and the paint was, if you take like the airsoft pellets, stretch one of those out and then put a bunch of like the paint you get at preschool on it. That's what basically would fly out of this gun. And safety on there, and it was just a pump action gun. But of course, you got two. So mine, I camouflaged it.
Tactical.
It's tactical now. But what's even funnier is this one when you cock it. So there's like a a spring down here for some of the resistance. So on mine, I took that spring out so it could look hot fast. Now I have to. So I think we were talking to Connor about teching guns. This thing, I haven't teched this in about 30 years. So it probably doesn't actually work. But I had it set up where I didn't even have to touch the trigger. It would shoot automatically as you were just talking.
I'm willing to bet Bill doesn't have one of those in the museum.
Yeah. So
I've got the targets that came with it. I think mice ate it. I think mice ate my gun.
But those were the first things. I think it was a buddy of ours who played, Jay. He kind of called me up. This is like high school, saying, "Dude, you got to see this thing on the television, like Saturday morning cartoons." And these things were, the guy was. I think the commercials, the guy sitting at the pool shooting at the guy bringing drinks or some. But that was our first experience with playing paintball. Was those things running around with shock goggles on at my parents' place and. Went, hey, I think we went from that to the acorns and slingshots because that was just better value.
Yeah. I remember you saying how hard it was to find ammo for those things.
Yeah, you get a whole tree full of ammo.
Yeah.
Well, there you go, right?
But yeah, it's fun to sort of
that's funny
You
you
knew
said
when
about
the guy was
autocock.
out.
Go ahead,
You
Bobby.
knew when
What?
the guy was out because he was screaming, "Ow!"
Yeah, because your ear was starting to swell up.
You had to revive him after a hit.
We probably didn't wear helmets the first time we played, but it was very fast after that we wore helmets and armor and whatever we could put on because it hurt.
Oh, we
cardboard armor.
We made cardboard armor, and I think there was a bunch of us had like hockey helmets with like the glass, like the plastic face shields, right? That's what we wore out, slinging, bringing acorns at each other.
And then we start playing paintball, and we decide just to wear the face mask, or just to wear the goggles instead of the whole face mask.
Yeah, we weren't even quite that advanced with our goggles.
Wire mesh.
Yeah,
that's from Tim Schloss's collection. I think it was the Florida, either the Bushmaster or Bushwhackers or the Annihilators. I can't remember who we got it from.
Yeah. So that's an old JT mask, is it not? It looks like.
Oh yeah. And it was they made these wire mesh masks, so they breathe and not fog up, and they glued the JT earpieces in them, but they've been long lost.
That was the Florida Annihilators you're talking about, Bill?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
Yeah, I think I saw pictures of them wearing those, if I remember. Yeah.
Yeah, but paintball goes through there, it still sting. Believe me.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
The worst was when you got shot under your arm while you were pulling the slingshot back, and someone else let go and got you right in the armpit. That was the worst.
Now the worst for me we called it the shoestring shot, because after you got hit there, you see nothing but shoestrings. So I can't say it on the air, but I think everybody knows what the shoestring shot is.
Luckily, we all had jocks to wear because most of us played hockey, so we were smart enough to cover the junk.
Or lacrosse,
or lacrosse, or whatever. Yeah.
Back in the glory days.
Yeah. So how long you guys been together as a team?
34 years.
There you go.
Yeah.
87 is our official.
Oh,
there you go. Long enough to write a book about it. That's it right there. Bill's showing it off.
Down a little bit more. There you go.
Manual. Yep. Bunkered Tournament Paintball Complete. That was written in 2009, I believe, after years of kind of, we went through a period, like I said, where we got married and we were still playing, but guys were doing their own things, taking some time and getting their families in order and organizing their finances, whatever. And I wrote the book more as a catharsis to everything we had been through. I hadn't played pro in a decade at that point, and there was a lot of things on my mind that I wanted to pass on to other players. And we were trying, we were back on the amateur circuit, but the amateur tournaments weren't very receptive to ex-pro players. There was a long period where you tried to play a tournament and they would tell you right out, no, you've got pro status. We don't want you. And
really?
Yeah, we had actually ended up, there's a running joke on the team called Drunken Prom Date where we sandbagged a tournament and we won the tournament, but we played as Drunken Prom Date. And so we won every game and we won the event, so we're the only undefeated team ever.
Well, we didn't win every game. I remember the
last game was a tie. The last game was a tie.
It was a bunch of, I think there were a bunch of just not rentals, but they were
the young guys.
Yeah, the young team and
young guys on the speedball field.
Yeah, and they ate us up, and it was.
No, we didn't lose. It was a tie. It came down to 2-on-2. Yeah, it was a tie. So Drunken Prom Date is still undefeated, but we did win the event sandbagging. So it is what it is. But yeah, that's the way it was, and that book was written basically as a catharsis to get everything out in the open that we had been through and try to pass it on to the younger generations. And the information on there is still valid to this day. A lot of it is related to bush ball, and there is a fair bit on speedball. I didn't touch on X-ball at all, but in Canada, the X-ball league is dead now, so it doesn't even matter anymore. You know. So.
Yeah, it says the copyright was 2008.
Yeah.
And I like the intro. It says, "For my wife Candy, one of the very first paintball widows, and my parents, whose endless support made this possible."
Yeah. Yeah, my parents kind of laughed when I said I was publishing a book on it. And then they didn't laugh when I said, hey, I need a couple of $1,000 to get this going. So that is what it is. Interesting story, though. My wife, Candy, who was my girlfriend that I talked about earlier, she actually played a tournament as a Boonie Boy. So she's officially on the roster, which is kind of funny. Again, we have a long history of playing short. Andy and I were joking about this the other day, where we go to an event for one reason or another, we'd be a man or two down. And we were playing Blizzard Ball, I guess, which was a league or a series that was going on in Ontario. And two of our players that we had newly recruited decided that they wanted to go mountain biking instead, and they buggered off. They left the second day of the event. And so Candy said, you know what, I'll step up and I'll play. So we played a 5-man event with 4 people at that point, and she actually did surprisingly well. So there you go.
Right. She had played with us before. When he says we played short a lot, I'm not going to make any short jokes about Candy because
she's 4'11". Yeah.
But she was following me once. This is back at RLD. They had a creek that ran through the field. And she followed me through it one time and almost disappeared in it.
You almost drowned her.
Yeah. That was pretty fun.
She still jokes about that.
And I thought JT was a nice one. Holy smokes.
I didn't know how deep it was. I didn't know she was following me. And then she almost drowned. I had to pull her out. It was kind of funny.
I love it. Well, you know, guys, we're back over the hour again, just like last time. You know, I'm sure I'm going to get more static again tomorrow about this. So I'm going to ask you right now if you guys can maybe come back in 5 or 6 weeks and be on one more time with us.
Absolutely, Freddie. I promised you last time that we had a story that would blow your mind, and we didn't get to it. It's a story that not a lot of people know, but you definitely want to hear about it. So let me throw that teaser out there, and if you want to talk about it, I'll get it out there.
Yeah. Well, yeah, and I definitely want you guys. I want all 4 of you back on. You know, you guys together make a great show. You guys, and I'm sure we just didn't even get into all the stories that you guys have. And, you know, I want to dig deeper into this. So, you know, it give you a little more time to think about some of the stuff. And, you know, like I say, people enjoy hearing the stories. You know, if they don't like your stories, if they don't hear about it, they'll never hear about it because you are the only guys that it happened to. You know, it's just like one guy, even Dan told me, Dan Colby says one thing that he really loves about the show was all the different people telling the different stories of things that happened to them. And he says he's learned so much about things that have happened, but about the people themselves too, you know, and I think it's great. And I don't know, some Facebook user, they always put Facebook user, I don't know, maybe you can see it, JT, but they said, wow, this was another great show once again.
Chica
and it's because
Estrada.
Chica.
Oh, you know what? Chica's a hell of a guy. I love Chica Estrada. Chica Estrada from my first show, he has chimed in every time, but it's always Facebook user. I never see the guy. But what a great, great person. Chica, my hat's off to you, buddy, and thank you so much for watching. You're the man. You really are. So, Boonie Boys, I guess I'm going to let you one at a time say goodbye to everybody. You know, I can't thank you guys enough for taking the time to come on. because I know it's probably late 30 where you guys are now. And I just enjoy the stories so much. I really, really do. I enjoyed it as much as our viewers did, to tell you the truth.
Oh, it's a ton of fun getting on here and sort of remembering some of these stories and the events that we've done. It's just a trip down memory lane, right? And it's fun to relive some of these events again, right?
Yeah, well,
Well,
we're not
you
done.
know-
We're not done tripping down that lane yet.
No, and
we got lots, man.
it's cool talking about the history of paintball because we were a part of it and we've seen all of the history of paintball.
Right.
It's cool, you know.
But but and you're right, JT. That's absolutely true. But what's cool is the way you guys present yourself. All four of you guys present yourself in such a great way that somebody that would be watching that isn't even into paintball would think, I would like to go out and meet some guys like this and play that damn game. See, that to me is what it's all about.
That's
You should come to our picnic. It's ridiculous.
come to our pick. Yeah, come. We have a chip truck and everything. Andy's got a food truck. We get on there and cook our own food. It's awesome.
You guys do it when the winter's gone, though, right?
Yeah,
Summer.
we're
there's a lot of him on there.
But
No,
what you said, Fred, like we do, like we were out. I've been out the last few weekends, and whenever there's rental kids there and they have a gun and whatever, you see them fog. We always will let them use one of our spare guns and say, "Here, play with this," right? And and then they fall in love with the sport, and hopefully they go back and play again. Or I know when we were there last fall, this dad, he was like so grateful that we were letting these two boys use some guns, but then he was kind of sort of like, thanks, it's going to be a very expensive Christmas now. But I mean, that's what you want, right? So
Well, that's actually a very, very good point right there. That is why I bring you guys on. That is why you guys are on a second time. Because believe me, I have no lacking for guests. In fact, I got people griping at me because I'm not putting them on. So the reason that you guys came back is because of that, is what I honestly think that you guys bring across about the sport of paintball and some of the fun times you guys have had, So I just absolutely love it. I really, really do. And, I can't thank you guys enough. And I definitely want to make sure that you guys come back because I know tomorrow I'm going to get the same crap I got last time. Those guys were funny. You talk too much. Why did I'm thick skinned. I can take it. So anyhow, I'm going to start. Martin, number one, you can say goodbye to everybody.
All right, guys, thanks for watching. Just want to send a shout-out to all of our players currently on the roster. Jason, Paul, Derek, Sean, Chewy, Shorty, Adam, Nathan, Curtis, Thomas, Shane, Chris, Andrew, Danny, Jeff Jr., Mikey, and Mason. You guys rock. Hopefully you'll be on here someday, too. Ciao.
Absolutely. Right on, Martin. Martin, great guy. All four of these guys are terrific. And you too, Bill. Bill knows I love him.
Poor Bill's been quiet today.
Yeah.
Oh, heck yeah. Well, Bud posted the reason they're great is because they're real guys.
Exactly. Well, see, that's exactly why they're on. It's
Yep.
just that. Yeah. So, Andrew, you're next, buddy.
I'm next, and I want to give a shout out to the fields. Combat Pursuit. We've got Georgina Paintballs opening up. We've got a handful of the fields. We've got a break in our lockdown with some of the numbers, so people are getting out again. So,
Good.
Pop out, support some of these local guys, go out and shoot some paint, and we'll see you out there.
Sounds good. Andrew, another great guest. Boy, Martin, Andrew, Bobby, JT. Bobby, you're next.
All right, well, guys, we still got the border issue between Canada and the United States right now, and hopefully that'll, we'll get through that, and we'll be able to come down and spend some time with you guys, or you guys can come up to Canada. Canada's a beautiful place.
I'd like to come up there.
Come on up.
Yeah.
Lots of space. I'm right at the border, right at Niagara Falls. So
Oh, really?
I'm the closest to everybody's. Yeah, I could walk to the falls from where I am.
Oh,
See
wow.
that, Bobby? He's got one of
It's
your
beautiful.
skulls.
Yeah.
He's got one of
Thanks,
your
buddy.
autococker skulls.
I love that. Yeah, brother.
Yeah.
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 So that's going to be happening. I definitely want to do a shout out and thank, as far as I'm concerned, the god of paintball to me for Bud Orr there. He's always supported us amazingly. Even when I was turning around and I was, planning on getting married, I waited till I was late till I got married. And first person I called was Bud, and what do you have for advice? And he's always been a very solid person to us and our grounding rod. And
Yep.
the guy's made.
I literally love the guy.
In my opinion, is one of the most incredible paintball markers that are out there right now.
Yep, absolutely right.
So I got to turn around and thank him for everything he's done for paintball. I definitely wouldn't be here if it wasn't for him. I probably would have been stuck on a bicycle for the rest of my life, jumping off cliffs. So, and all my teammates, they're all a brotherhood. And, now that the season's starting and everybody's starting to come out, and I hope this issue that we have with COVID, finally, God give us all the strength to get through this. And, we'll see each other and be on the field and pew-pewy to each other.
Sounds good. All right, Bobby,
And
well, you have a
thank
good
you.
evening, buddy.
Thank you once again for having us on here. We appreciate it.
It's my pleasure, believe me. You guys are on
All right.
for a reason. You guys are good for paintball. All right, Bobby.
Take care.
Down to you, JT.
Yeah, same thing that everybody said. Like, we appreciate, like, we're lucky that we've been able to do this for so long. We are a brotherhood. We want to continue this sport and watch it grow, hopefully back to what we find as the glory days. That's what we want to see. We want to promote it and get out there, play at the local fields, and get as many people playing as we can.
Well, I'm
'Cause
hoping
it's better
things-
for everybody.
Yeah, I'm hoping things settle down a little bit, and maybe this year, when it's warm, let me stress the warm part, to maybe slide up there and play a little bit with you guys. I would love that.
We were actually going to plan a thing in February to try to get you up to play in the snow, but anyways, yeah. No, yeah, I hope so. We want to come down to Monte Casino and see Bud and those guys again in September.
Yeah, we're going to be there. I'm going to be at that. That would be
Yeah.
outstanding.
Yeah, we're getting pulled in two directions there because there's a 10-man woods ball tournament happening here that they want us to play at, and then there's that. But if the border's open, we'll be there.
Sounds
Sweet.
good. All right,
Yeah.
JT. Well, you have a good evening, buddy, and thanks
Thanks.
again so much for being on.
Thank you very much for having us. We appreciate it.
You bet. Wow, Bill, the Booney Boys. How cool are these guys?
Yeah, there's always good stories.
Oh God, I love them. Yeah, that's why we got to bring them back. I mean, I hate running the show 5 hours, but I could probably spend 5 days listening to these guys talk, man. So what do you
so
think?
many
Well, we had a lot
teams.
of people chiming in, buddy.
Oh yeah, they're still chiming in.
Yeah, they are, huh?
Yep, I'm thankful my internet actually worked all the way this time. This whole thing was with my computer this time. It's like, whoop.
Oh, really? It must be cloudy there to keep the signal
It's
down.
cloudy and it's wind is really bad. So
Yeah, we had bad
I'm
wind
happy
here
with it
earlier.
right now.
Yeah, we had bad wind here earlier, but not too bad now. So, anyhow, those guys are cool to have on, aren't they?
Heck yeah, they are. I can't wait to see them at Monte Casino.
Oh man,
I'm hoping they can come down.
Treat.
Oh
That
yeah,
would be a treat. And once it warms up there, maybe you and I can hop up there and jump in the game with these guys. A big game, or just go out and let them pound
Just
the hell
hang
out of
out.
us. Whatever, but just to go do it.
Yep. Heck yeah. They've got a big. They're at Monte Casino. They've got this big pavilion, and there's a fireplace and everything right there. So something tells me there'll be a lot of late night stories and stuff going on at that one. It's going to be a killer. I can't.
Oh, yeah,
I'm going to have a camera going.
It's just like everybody else in paintball. When you're around the campfire, you can tell the stories. You just can't tell them on air.
Oh yeah, yeah. Oh, that's the bad thing. There's so many phones and cameras going now. This stuff's going to be caught forever.
You got to sort through it all, man.
Yeah.
All right, Billy. Well, I appreciate it, buddy. As always, you're a good man to have as a wingman. Believe me.
Yep. Well, thanks for having me on, and everybody in
you're
the
on every
paintball
week.
world. Yeah, everybody be safe, and we'll catch you next Tuesday.
All right, buddy. Mr. William Bailey. Wow, I got to tell you guys, shoot, my head's about ready to explode. It's been so cool having these guys on. You know, Bill Bailey, terrific person, just absolutely great guy, great wingman. Proud to have him on with me every week. And the Booney Boys. I told you guys these guys were a show. I meant it. You know, that's why people getting a hold of me going, oh, man, you cut them off. Well, I'm going to have them on again, okay? I'll let them regroup and get some of their stories and stuff together, and we'll have them on again. They're just very, very entertaining, funny, nice guys, kind of guys that you want to keep pushing the sport of paintball along. You know, these guys really make it happen, and I was very, very privileged to have them on tonight. So I guess it's time for me to go have dinner. I'm tired. I had my second COVID shot today, so I'm kind of dragging right now. So remember, from me, please play hard, play safe, play fair, but let's get out there and play some paintball. Till next Tuesday evening, 7 o'clock Pacific time. I'll see you guys then. Bye now.